Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Everspace 2, where I've just gone through and cleaned out our inventory, trashed most of the stuff we pulled from the Rift. Obviously, most of it wasn't going to be good. This is the thing I've been looking at. So, we have a plating here that has 13,000 more armor on it than the one we currently have. I really do have a big problem with losing almost all of our armor repair per kill. Obviously, that's a big source of armor repair for us. But this is so much armor. We do kill G&B Inokar units in the rifts fairly frequently. It has great stats on it. The corrosion damage is not something we're necessarily going to use. It's from a set that, might actually be useful. And you got to remember, this is a very armor-focused ship, right? We're getting a massive percentage increase on the amount of armor that we bring. So, I think we should try this. I'm going to hold on to the other armor in case we want to switch back, because 8% armor repair per kill is, that's real. But with this thing installed, we are at 104,000 armor. We have twice as much armor as Hull. And I feel like that's going to keep us safe, right? That's going to do some good work. All right, let's also have a look at our devices. We haven't looked at our devices in a little bit. I'm having a hard time getting the front shield generator to really work, so I'm wondering if there's something else we could be rocking. The teleport is interesting, but I don't know. I guess leaving a proximity mine behind when you do it is kind of cool. Face off also is neat. Teleport and just immediately be looking at the people who are chasing you. The nano transmitter repairs the ship's hull. Can also repair armor and shields. Huh. I mean, that's alright. Restores armor damage taken in the last. So it's based on the amount of damage you've taken recently. I mean, this is a thing you would fire when your armor breaks, right? And it would probably be actually very effective. Repaired amount is increased based on missing armor percentage. Always repairs at least 20 total armor. I mean, that's all interesting. Missile defense system, I'm not so worried about. I never did try the fusion hook, but it's hard to imagine it being very exciting. And then there's the quantum entangler. Damage done to the user will also be applied to the target. It has a pretty short cooldown. Ignore damage to armor and shield, but split hull damage 50-50 between the user and the target. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. If I'm not getting really any use out of the front shield generator, is this better? The thing is, I'm kind of unimpressed by a lot of these. The only thing I'm really thinking is maybe one of the repair options. So this thing has quite a lot of cooldown, but 40% of the damage dealt during the 9-second activation is probably going to be a lot, especially given the we can activate it in concert with the turret a lot of the time. The Carefree package seems very strong. Let's try this. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some of our device upgrades in that. Let's grab also repairs armor and shield for half the amount. We don't always have to fire it in tandem with the turret, but obviously we will do good work if we fire it in tandem with the turret. And with that, I think let's just get back out there. Now, before we open any more rifts, it has been a minute. I'm going to jump over to Prescott and see if there are any signal decoders of the appropriate type available. again, at this point, like, completing that challenge would 100% be so I can say I completed all the challenges. It is very low stakes, but it would be neat, right? It would be cool. That's a weird time for it to cancel my my boost. We weren't really near anything. All right. Do you have anything cool? Drake, Kite, Nebula, Drake. Wow, a lot of Drake signal decoders. A lot of Drake signal decoders with G&B allies on them, which is, one of the easiest types. None of our stuff sells super well here. We should probably drop some of this garbage off somewhere. But yeah, unfortunately, again, just no appropriate ones. All right, that's fine. Let's just go right out to this thing in front of Prescott Starbase and open up a big rift and terrify everyone who lives here. It seems like actually, you know what? Maybe we should do an incursion. Do we see a marker for an incursion anywhere? Because if we do, it seems like doing an incursion and then doing an incursion to get a reliquary seems like the way to approach the rifts. Although I guess we're out of. I don't think I see the icons on anything. It might be the case that you can't see them from the star map, that you might have to be like closer, because the last time we saw an icon for an incursion, oh, never mind. I was gonna say I thought we saw it in the on our actual scope, like rather than on the map. Maybe it's a thing you could only see in person, but no, this works. Okay, so to Sharkov. And who knows? Maybe we can sell something while we're there. I don't know if we actually have a limited amount of time to reach them. I guess we should take it seriously. We should be on a hurry. On a hurry? In a hurry? How do colloquialisms work? There's not a platform to land on here, is there? I don't think so. Wait, I'll all turn around. First, things. Now, stuff. Everybody knows it's critically important to tend to your things before you tend to your stuff. You do it the other way, you're going to be breaking dependencies left and right. All right, the good news is we have all of this fast forward. God damn it. I had all of this fast forward.
How could you possibly have known that that's what I was about to say?
What if you just let me go?
Have happened in each instance of every alternate reality. Odds are that this moment was bound to occur at some point.
Oh, I see. Very clever. I bet you were programmed to give that response whenever predetermination arises.
I knew you were going to say that too.
Yep, that was definitely worth slowing me down for. It's wild. We could just be in a no more of this area, right? We are past the game's petty concerns of plot and into a realm of pure gameplay. And yet,
a spike in Kion emissions has been detected. Another ancient incursion, I presume.
Okay, so they're like all the way under the big rock here. Hello everyone, it's me, and I'm definitely going to help. Oh, the wrong people heard that thing I said about helping. Wow, this thing is tough as hell. Like, I'm giving it the rockets too, it's just... may end up with a lot of life. Okay, I gotta fight some things I can actually kill. We'll come back to you. Here we go. Okay, here's some.
Here comes the Alec. Hey there. Feel free to shoot at something. Can you help?
I can offer emotional support if needed.
Oh right, I forgot. I should be using this thing
Sounds, if that would comfort you.
Forget it.
on the big enemies. So I tested out our repair tool there in a non-turret circumstance. It was, it was some amount of healing. So I gotta remember, we have one energy weapon now instead of two. And then we have this ridiculous minigun. It really does do good work.
Shields are down on the beacon.
Yes, it really, really does.
I felt that in my teeth.
Alright, turret's charged. I don't know if we need it here. Yeah, wow, this thing really tears up anything that's not shielded very, very quickly. I will say, did that jump out, or was a teleport down, wasn't it? Well, then never mind. I don't want to fight it. Yeah, even that big ship really didn't last very long. I mean, obviously that was the one we were shooting at before with the maximum, or with the massive damage done to it already, but still. I didn't realize I'd gotten so far away from it. Ah, damn.
Beacon shields restored.
Okay, gotta stay close. I will say that if we're going to equip this thing, it feels like... Stop doing stuff. If we're gonna rock this minigun, it does feel like it's less and less important for us to have a flak cannon. Like, the occasional free missile kill is pretty cool, I guess, but we really don't need it. There we go. Drone down. Ah. This gun that shoots the like singularity looking projectiles, I don't know that it's actually doing more damage than other weapons, but it certainly has a way of panicking me. Okay, there we go. There's a kill. I'm trying to make sure I'm like returning to the area of the shard between kills, so that I won't be caught off guard again when the shield drops. Alright, I think that's gonna open it up.
Beacon has lost its shields. The situation has been satisfactorily resolved.
Huh.
More numbers to add up.
Interesting. We just pulled a gold level signal decoder. Interesting. Required lunacy 400, but enemies are lower level with the blessing. What is that? What is that icon to the right of the loot quality? Mines on death. Marked enemies level is increased by every 15 seconds by up to 5 times. If this enemy is destroyed, a new one is chosen. That's pretty scary, but the rest of the traits on there are honestly not bad. Double Trouble is not really a big deal, I don't think. Mines on Death is not really a big deal. Yeah, Evolution's the only thing I'm really scared of. We're doing this. We're doing this for sure. I'm very curious about the loot and whatnot that will drop. So we did pick up just like a lot of trash here. I guess I don't really need to be picking up all this trash. We're certainly not going to be using any Mason plating. Mason plating, maybe? It is worth noting that we have now 1 point of autonomous on our repair bay. So if we see another autonomous piece, it's more worth considering, because I would not mind that armor regen. With the amount of armor we have, it's actually very significant. A powerful equalizer, 1251, 2501. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the flat cannon's starting to feel like it lacks utility. It is effective at a much larger range. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm sort of wondering if I want to, like, pull this apart and replace it with a, words for my brain, like a railgun or something. You know, so some kind of, like, really long-range things that I can pick off targets as we're approaching. Maybe. Okay. Also, Zharkov is a place where a lot of our cargo is valuable, so I do think we should probably divest. What's that? It's just like a peacemaker floating in the sky. Alright, let me jump out of here. We're going to go to a platform somewhere, drop a bunch of cargo so that we have inventory space and, you know, money for repairs, which it turns out is going to be like a whole thing. There's incursions all over the place. There's this high-risk area. There really are a lot of incursions. Okay, look at that. They do say they are timed. 1 minute remaining. Threat level moderate. So this place has a shipyard. It doesn't have just a normal shop, which is what we need. I mean, I guess we can go back to Vesna, which is now chill and calm. It's nice that we can see on our scope now where there are still mainframe components. There's probably, you know, there's an argument to be made that I should go get the rest of my firepower, or that we could improve our precision or something. My guess is each mainframe component invested in precision is going to get us like 0.25% critical hit chance or something. They're so incremental that they're not even like exciting to get. I think that was a big mistake on their part, making them so minor in effect. So I think let's just go to Vesna to make sales, and then we shall consider other things. And I guess given that we're doing all these very high loot generation things now, it's probably no longer worth taking cargo on board, because we want to have room to scoop up like 600 drops. Why's it got to be that platform? Why is it the one all the way in the back? You're killing me. All right, all the solar panels, please. All the cybernetic implants. That's a hefty profit. Here, you want some t-shirts? And then this stuff doesn't sell super well, but also it's not taking up a lot of room. So I feel better about that. Just real quick sweep for, like, I don't know, signal decoders or whatever. And then I guess while we're here, I may as well... That's a 17,000 credit restock, or repair, huh? We're definitely going to take the restock. I need missiles. I mean, what the hell? What else are we spending it on? If we could get that autonomous set bonus going and get our armor repairing constantly in combat, well, constantly in near combat situations is maybe a better way to put it. Because, like, it only refills your armor while your shield is full, right? Yeah, as long as shields are full. Our shield is always down. So, in real fighting, I don't know that it'll be much of an improvement. Alright, try this. The evolution thing sounds like legitimately very scary, but G and B being on site means that we're going to have a lot of target baffles. Enemies are going to be fighting a lot of things that aren't us. So that might have a huge effect, honestly. I mean, this seems like a pretty good flak opportunity. I guess there's something to be said for that. There's just like a ton of enemies all up on each other. Alright, turrets up. Let's do some fighting. Wow, I'm barely even getting to target things before the turret kills them. Maybe I should have let that thing be the evolved, like, just a random sniper drone. I'm not paying a lot of attention to the energy reserve that this thing's supposed to be building up to empower our next missile or whatever. I'm not really I don't have the attention necessary to watch another thing. That's on me. Yeah, see, every time our shield comes up, it goes back down almost immediately. So that autonomous set bonus doesn't really do anything for us in combat, I feel like. Alright, I feel like this is a situation where we get in here, we drop the Annihilator virus, we turn on the turret, and just go fucking absolutely nuts. Armored enemy from, or this evolved enemy from getting too strong. Yeah, see, like this is what I would have liked a little bit more of out of that, what was supposed to be the climactic story battle. Like, I think one of the biggest problems with that is just that it didn't last long enough. Like you weren't in the everybody's together and we're fighting, and it feels like we're getting some actual real world benefit from all of these alliances and everything. For more than like, what, that battle was like 45 seconds, the space phase, and then there was a little bit more on the planet's surface, but not very much. I think it would have benefited from feeling like, I know this is going to sound a little strange, but from sort of feeling like a slog, like really feeling like you pushed through like an epic amount of resistance.
Gotcha.
That guy's really far away. I don't want to be spending that much time in transit. Yeah, the combination of this extremely powerful minigun and then also the turret, it's just like, it is absolute nightmare time for our enemies. Alright, Annihilator virus. I'm gonna save the turret for the boss here, since we're almost on the boss. Alright, there we go. End of bar triggered. Alright, enemies are mostly going to jump out, and what is left? One G and B dude. Alright, double boss time. Let's do it. Turrets up, rockets up, and one down. Double bosses. How can you even tell? Alright. So. Oh. Okay. What I was about to say is, part of what I was curious with doing a yellow quality, yellow quality rift, was if there was going to be guaranteed yellow quality loot, and it looks like there was, but not exactly what I was expecting. We got 20 organic deep space semiconductors for one thing, and we pulled a yellow quality catalyst, which is only compatible with radiant legendaries. Okay, so there was a whole category that wasn't being shown to us because we didn't have any of the things in it yet. And I could easily see this being what all of these are. It's just, you know, it lets you attach the set, attach a set marker to your radiant legendary items. Actually, I guess this is the only one that says only compatible with radiant legendaries. Interesting. Well, it lets you attach set bonus to whatever you want so that you can force your items into a set, which is actually a very useful thing to have. That's pretty cool. I'm actually very into that. It's another Zarkov signal decoder. It's less exciting, but let's go ahead and fire it. And I think it's time to, I would love to get this open. Generally, they have said on them what slot they're for, right? This one certainly does not do that. We pulled a very high value railgun. 3,500 range, repairs 30% of the kinetic damage dealt, and that's a pretty small number. As hull hit points. I mean, I was seeing situations where the flak was useful. Sometimes we just get like bombarded by enemies. It's just way too many enemies. Okay. So we would be losing 10% primary weapon range. I'm not heartbroken about that. Firepower and precision. We lose the firepower. We gain some precision. But this gets us that autonomous set bonus. So I think I'm going to do it, even though it's kind of a... I mean, it's a lower quality, but the ranges are actually, like... They're pretty good. I like the high loot range. I will say that. But I think I am going to make that change. We'll see if that ends up... feeling really bad or not. What's the 3-point bonus is it also works on your hull if your shields and armor are both full. Okay. So the cargo bay is already where we have it, and this is a very strong cargo bay. I think it's going to be a little hard to replace this. We got some prime zappers. We got a high level blaster here. Non-critical hits increase the chance to, like, this thing is going to ramp up, crit, ramp up, crit, ramp up, crit over and over again. It is only 800 meter range. I think I'm going to scrap it. This is just worse than the shield we're using now. Yeah, I don't think we value the Storm Chaser set enough to accept the loss of functionality from switching to that. Still holding on to this, still holding on to these cruise missiles because they are kind of interesting. High capacity corrosion missiles, 13 of them, wow. Bonus damage against ancients and ancient controlled units probably applies to everything in the Rift, right? Like, even the GMB and Okar things are ancient controlled. I don't think we want this. Alright. Back to space. Let's go Rift. Because I want to see if I can get this reliquary to open. Wait, no, yeah, this is the symbol for the thing. So 400% lunacy is definitely unreasonable. I do not think that we are in a place to deal with 400% lunacy. Or, you know, 400 lunacy, which converts into some percentage modifiers. Like, were I to do this, so we could run it at merely 300 by paying tiers equal to the difference. This would increase enemy hit points by merely plus 200%. Enemy damage goes way up, but we get the blessing, and the thing opens when we're done. I'm going to take that. I am comfortable. Yes, they will be refunded if you fail the rift. That's nice. That doesn't really need to be the case, probably. I appreciate the kindness there, but they probably could have made this a thing where, like, hey, listen, you're trying to take it easy. There's a penalty if you try that and fail. That's nice of them. Yeah, the flat cannon's really nice for just like stripping the drones off of an incoming group. Alright, turrets up. Let's fuck some shit up. Not close to enough enemies. Here we go. Nice of y'all to show up. There we go. Yeah, this is a flak situation for sure. Unfortunately, the drone carrier warped in really far away for maximum annoyance. Good time for my turret to come back online. Yeah. All right. Wow, are we stage resolved already? That felt really quick. Maybe I didn't need the turret. Alright, what are we looking at here? Detonator drones. Honestly, I don't consider that one to be all that bad, and it has a lot of loot quality behind it. Enemies cannot be locked. I do not like that. I need the help aiming, I think. Yeah, this one's not too bad, especially with the turret up, because it feels like the turret just takes one extra shot and clears the drone before moving on to the next target. I thought the turret was gonna feel like a lot less consequential than some of the other ults that we've seen. You know, you expect the BFG, right? Would feel like a very different sort of animal. But honestly, the turret, it doesn't feel anywhere near as incremental as I thought it was going to. When you turn on the turret, it is like a doomsday weapon. It is horror for all those involved. My plan here basically is to just keep moving, and if they wanna drone me, let a bunch of drones build up, and then when we can hear that they're close on approach, just EMP them. Which seems to be working out fine so far. Yeah, unfortunately, the Synchro Pulse Gun is a really excellent sort of just like all-around weapon against most of these enemies who are not showing us very much armor. It is a ridiculously bad weapon against the drones that they drop, because drones are all armor. Let's maybe get a little help from the turret. I'm kind of losing my momentum here. You know, out in the rifts, we can't have that. Intercepted. start to get like a little overwhelmed. Just a lot of stuff flying past us in a lot of directions all the time. Nope. Absolutely not with the Weber. I didn't realize all of their drones are also dropping drones, which is wild. Leading to there being a lot of shit around me sometimes. Where are we at here? 82%? I guess I'll hold the... what do you call it? We'll hold our turret for opening up the next area.
Well executed.
Alright, just gotta remember the weapon switch every single time. Okay. Clearance. Yeah, the enemies being forced to be a level lower really takes a lot of the edge off. It is a very strong reliquary effect. I maybe should have just taken this at full lunacy. Enemies are faster, I think, is not a big deal. Our loot quality percentage, I feel like, it's got to be pretty high at this point. I'm not keeping super close track of it. It is kind of a shame that it doesn't seem like there's anything to put it toward. You know, like the only reward of Rift is more Rift. Whereas like in a lot of the games, oh yeah, turret right away. In a lot of the games that do this kind of like loot treadmill stuff, you're at least gaining the loot toward some other kind of purpose, right? Taking on the next difficulty level of like the full storyline, or like when you're the one I'm more familiar with personally, like MMO raiding. You know, you're not doing it so that you can take on the same fight necessarily. You're doing it so that you can do harder and more interesting fights beyond. And then the loot from those is for, you know, even harder and even more interesting fights beyond that. And they don't really have anything to build to. And it's not a big deal. Like, the combat's fun and everything. But it would be nice if there was something to build to. Oh, look at this guy. All of a sudden, full focus. Wow. Damn. Yeah, the big demolishers are kind of impressive and terrifying. They eat up a lot of fire, unless the turret's on, in which case it just annihilates them immediately. Oh, what's the deal with this guy? Why are you so tough? Stop living. Alright, clearing out the drone carrier will probably, my guess is, reduce the number of things that we are fighting by a little bit. The maneuverability on these things. Here we go. No escape. Ugh. Yeah, these little ships, they get close to us and they just start swarming, and I have very limited ability to counter that. Okay, guess we're clear. Let's do the thing. Periodically teleports to a random location and starts repairing. Alright. It's not ideal. Our equipment is locked, right? This might have been a good time to switch to the railgun if we were allowed to. I do find myself using the flat cannon. I don't know. I appreciate that the choice is non-obvious. Oh, it's one of these things. All right, that's going to be a challenge. This is where I wish we still had the frontal shields. All right, you know what we do. Salvos out, and where'd you go? That's a lot of kilometers, my friend. Oh, I ran out of shit, chain guns. The chain gun is not infinite. Ah, we almost had him. How dare you? Yeah, again, like if you're willing to drop 100 rockets on something, there's really nothing they can throw at you. It's gonna survive too much more than that. And like we still have the other missile slot, but it has that you know, every time you hit with your primary weapon, X% chance of getting a free rocket. It's like I'm mostly just using it for the free procs. Because the capacity is so low. I guess like over the course of a rift, when you're getting auto refills at the end of the rift, over the course of a rift, you're not really going to spend, I think it's like 12. Not all the time anyway. Okay, so we do seem to get signal decoders fairly regularly from this stuff. Maybe if we want to clear that other challenge, maybe the thing to do is to go and do the rifts there. Also, hey, free Insidium.
Okar Prime incoming. What is their problem exactly?
Everybody hates you, and it's because of your personality. I keep telling you this. Alright, unfortunately, this is not just the type of legendary we already have. This is actually one of... We have this exact thing. You know, I just deleted that blue flat cannon because I was like, we have one of these, but I think the numbers on it actually were higher. All right, whatever. So this, we lose firepower and utility to gain structure and expertise. And all of the numbers are like a little bit higher, but I like firepower and utility. Yeah, I think we're just scrapping this one. All right, organic deep space semiconductors it is. So yeah, all right, let's go to Keone and do rifts there, I guess. Although I suppose I should try to react to incursions first. I mean, this is kind of a cool gameplay system overall, and I do like the way that it encourages you to jump from system to system a lot. Okay, there's an incursion in Keone. Well, let's see if we can get there in time. Yeah, I like the way it encourages you to be jumping from system to system and not just like running back and forth between 2 points, because that encourages you to play with the trade mechanics. Like if you're going to be jumping all over the galaxy, you may as well be picking up cargo and running it. And this is, I think this is cool, and it's a well-designed system. And obviously the combat is the combat. The combat is the goodest part of the thing. I wish more of the game had been focused to like running to very large dogfights like this, and less other stuff. You know the specific. I like variety. You know the specific other stuff I mean. All right. That's a 2-star ancient incursion with a threat level of high. Yeah, let's go do that one. That seems fun. At the clone carrier. That symbol is a the repair dock that's there, right? I don't think we'll need it, but it's cool that it's there. Also inventory. I forgot to fire this before we left, and we can only do it while we're in the correct system. That's annoying. It's just gonna be in my inventory. We have so much stuff. This is the downside of these games and these systems. It's like you get to pick up 500 things, but they intentionally make most of them garbage. A level 29 superior star-forged scattergun. It's like a lot of gun. That's wild that this shield is also superior in star. I guess ours is too. It's just like worse. It's just worse than our existing shield. But 550 meters, like you're never going to be able to use this thing. All right. This has one less cargo slot than our current thing. It does trade out the stats. So we lose all 3 of the stats for a 5% increased hull repair, which I don't care about. But then a transfer to firepower and precision, which obviously I do care about quite a lot. So we're getting approximately a third of our total structure from that repair bay. Like, basically what I'm wondering is, can we afford to lose all of those defensive stats? And I think we're going to at least try it. A powerful Gauss cannon is interesting. For some reason, the stats are reported in an unusual order on this one. I don't think we're going to keep it. 1% increased hit points per 10,000 credits owned. It's not terrible, but it's not what we want. Yeah, all of a sudden the range is showing up second on all these cards, and I don't know why. Not super excited about web mines. Powerful EMP missiles are kind of cool, I guess. I don't really think we need those. This is just extra range on the rockets. The rockets are bad at fighting things at a distance anyway, due to the lack of lock-on. I feel like I don't really want to dig into that. This is cool, but it's no Nexus Heart or whatever. Yeah, okay. 20 cargo slots open. Let's, ooh. Probably free up that one too. Guess that's enough for combat. Let's do something. Oh, right. I hit the fast forward button, but like part of the whole reason we're here is that we don't have that.
Dramas aside, do you think we're here for a greater purpose?
Ah, yes. I knew this question would arise eventually. For indeed, your querying has unlocked the hidden records stored deep in my databases, which will answer everything you need to fulfill your destiny. For it is you,
That's a pretty solid burn. I'll give him that
who
one.
have been chosen for the greatest role in colonial history to lead it into its next era.
You're messing with me.
Nothing better to do in Superlight, if you ask me.
Although it is kind of a shame that, like, it is kind of a shame that it's sort of making fun of the game's writing, because that actually is kind of how they designed the plot. Adam Roslin is the special boy that everybody's just like, oh my god, you're so amazing, and they never stop telling him that. That was the thing I couldn't stop thinking about during the last conversation with Kato, where Kato's just like, wow, you're really impressive, and I'm super scared of you, and I would do anything you say, and I'm really surprised by your ability to negotiate and be amazing and be scary and be tough.
Right now.
And it's just like, I don't know, man. He's supposed to be a mob boss or something, right? Anyway, let's blow stuff up. Love to blow stuff up. That's weird. That GMB fighter, I think, was almost completely stationary. I would really like to fight this thing. Oh, it does not want to fight me. I get that. I see where that comes from. Maybe it saw the size of the cannon hanging out the underside of my ship. I was like, I don't actually want to be shot by that right now. Even with my new weapon, or my new energy core that's like very weapon focused, I'm still just not getting a lot of fire time on anything. I'm pretty sure I EMP'd approximately nobody there.
You're holding up very well.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to hear something supportive from you, High, for a change.
Let me get a second here. Okay. As the shield comes back up, we will get some amount of armor back. I just need my my gun to come off cooldown.
Strike the beacon now.
I'm not really in a position to do that, I don't think. It's not even this one. Yeah, it's that one. That's not happening. This I can do, though.
Protection restored on the beacon.
Okay, we're very close. We're very close to a... I gotta make sure we're fighting over here by the beacons. But there it is. There's my turret. And all of a sudden, we're so effective.
The beacon is vulnerable.
Okay, now I can actually do stuff. Oh, you're so far away. Oh, no, wait. This one doesn't... Why don't they... In the other area, I didn't even look at the bars. I will admit that is a failure on my part. But in the other area, the last one we did, it sure seemed like the bolts always went to the first beacon first. The one labeled 1. And I think that's a very sensible way for that to work. Alright, I'm pretty sure the Annihilator virus is going to be a kill there. But here, they definitely are not doing that. Here, I assume it's like...
Shields are disabled.
It could be random, right? It could absolutely be random. Okay.
Density is dropping.
Alright, I'm gonna bail out for a second. I am taking fire literally constantly from an angle that I don't know what to do about. Must load more shit into ship. Okay. It does seem like the NPCs are all dead now. Well, not all of them. There's still some fire going on. Give my shields a moment to recover here. Not that weapon, this weapon. Alright, I think I did not mean to fire the booster, obviously. But I did manage to EMP, I think, actually a pretty decent number of enemies there.
Toss another one off.
We have access to the beacon.
Alright, one thing I can definitely do is shut one of these beacons down real fucking
Do you have any
fast.
further intel on how any of these events might lead you home?
Nothing. Only blind corners. I detect no trace of my people's technology, or any I am otherwise familiar with.
I mean, it's all got to be related somehow. It was the tech from your ship which opened the spatial bypasses, which caused these ruptures.
There's one possibility, although I dread to bring my reasoning to that conclusion. I'm not yet ready to consider it openly.
Let's go see what this is real quick. So we did pull a reliquary there. For secondary weapons, we get some kind of like very cool missiles. Okay. A little bit of free stuff and a valuable shipwreck tucked in the corner underneath some rocks. Oh, rad. Activate. Are these better? No, these are extremely similar rockets. Scrap these. Scrap that for sure. Alright, one high-risk area often awards another high-risk area, so I think we're in good shape on that challenge now. So I think a thing we learned there is that on these higher level incursions, the enemy ships are more difficult, but the incursion crystals themselves don't seem to be. Definitely not taking that. I think I have a partial stack of these already, so it doesn't hurt to take that. So these teleport in, instantly hit the target. These do quite a lot more damage. Yeah, but they don't have the primary weapon critical hit thing. Yeah, we'll just scrap those. Alright, sorry, I should actually spend some time looking at our inventory here. So I'm definitely feeling the lower amount of okay, this reliquary is not too bad. I'm definitely feeling the lower amount of defensive stats that we have. I am feeling it, and it is scary. I don't think we're taking that. I could definitely see the opulence set becoming valuable, for sure. I don't think there's any chance we're going to equip a sticky turret. Eco Cruise boosters a little bit faster, a little bit slower to recharge. Plus 20% speed. What are the stats that we're currently getting from ours? Precision expertise. I mean, those are pretty good. Traded for firepower and bonus energy damage. I do not hate this. Honestly, I think we're going to make this change. This nanoplating is... It's certainly a lot better than the nanoplating we were using before, and it's got that really beautiful repair per kill. Firepower, resistance, expertise, no precision. It's a little bit more firepower. It's a lot of lost armor. I think I'm going to stick with the armor we have now. It's a little scary, but like, in part because we have that, because we have the autonomous set bonus. I think it's interesting. After the shutdown duration, instantly restore the shield to full capacity. I guess that's pretty cool. I don't really think the enemy missiles bonus on this is meaningful because most of the time our shield is down anyway. Chance to reflect a projectile back to the... honestly, I don't love this shield. This thing is a lower amount of total shielding. It does get us the full autonomous set bonus, and it gives us crit chance and damage reduction. I think I am going to switch. Is this the first time we've been at a full set of an entire set? I think it might be. Alright, anyway, back to space. What? Okay, apparently my nose dipped too far down. I was still pretty far above the horizon, I feel like. Alright, I think let's go do one more rift. I would like to pop this reliquary. But to do that, I need the details for places you can't get, the details for places that are not close to you do not show up on your scope by default. To do that, we need to fly all the way back to this spot.
Hive, tell me a story.
What exactly do you think I am? Some kind of speaking on-board assistant, only here to entertain you during Supralight? You think I'm a mere gadget, installed to spin fictions for your amusement? You take me for a toy. I, with the wisdom of an entire species at instantaneous reference, and only a badly reproduced ape descendant to communicate with? I, the culmination of generations of artificial intelligence, manacled to an ingrate.
Nice story. Thanks, Hive.
Hive's right. I think Hive is much more charming as a main character than Adam is. It would have been really interesting for this to be a story, and I know they'd have to rework the beginning of it, obviously, because they, for some reason, chose not to include Hive in the beginning. But it would have been much more interesting as the story of Hive, a story told from Hive's perspective. I think in general, games like this need to be a lot more, They need to be a lot more willing to embrace the science fiction weirdness. Like, that's the part of your thing that's interesting. And it would be really cool if we didn't have, you know, the 17th protagonist that year who was just like an average human male of, you know, roughly mid to late 20s. Like, do something weird. Your setting has all this stuff, and just like take advantage of the thing. I think we will just do this as a plus 200 because we're already an hour in. And I just kind of want to like pop the reliquary open. Boy, there's not a lot of room in here for portals. Okay. We can push the numbers next time. I am curious how high we could survive, and obviously the harder the rift that we survive, the more it gives us tools to survive rifts that are even harder than that, and you know how this whole thing goes. Hey, guess what? It's just you and me now. Wow, okay. It's just me now. These enemies definitely feel less concerning. I guess one thing that's really nice about the flak weapons, and it probably shouldn't be discounted, is that a good flak weapon means you don't have to aim so much. Close enough is good enough, and that is of non-zero value, it turns out. Okay, we'll just go ahead and turn on the turret now. If they're gonna get difficult about it.
Stuck like a bug.
You know, because it's webbing. I do not fear your detonator drones. I do not fear your webbing. I do fear the amount of armor that you're able to produce. That's a little scary. What a moment to run out of energy. I feel like I am so constantly webbed that I don't even have time to figure out what drone is webbing me and destroy it. By the time I do so, I will be webbed by another thing. We definitely don't need to fire the turret again. I mean, it's already very damaged over here. I would love to finish him off. Okay. EMP resistant is actually kind of annoying. Enemy, okay, well, maybe we're taking EMP resistant. 50% less damage beyond 300 meters is horrible. 50% less damage within 500 meters is certainly less horrible. But fuck it, we'll just take EMP resistant. The loot quality is almost not even, or the loot quality difference is small enough. So we'll just have to, you know, stop relying on the EMP so much. I do feel like it's a little shitty. It feels a little bait and switchy for this, like an enemy ship that has no shielding, or no armor, and a ton of shields to suddenly manifest armor as soon as its shield goes down. Like, pick a weapon for the job, and then they're just like, nuh-uh. Alright, that's a very natural switch at least. Let's turn on the turret. I don't have to put up with this. With the turret up, it feels like I can sit on the minigun, because the turret will just strip everybody's shields for me. Which is certainly very powerful. Alright, there's that flak cannon coming in handy. Aiming is for people who don't have a giant flak cannon. Here we go. Want to make sure we don't have a lot of those running around the battlefield. Annihilator is out. Hopefully that'll shut down some of those ships. Wow, that was a lot of exploding on me all of a sudden. Yeah, I think we'll skip the turret for now. Probably finish things, is my guess. Yep. Bomber is a pretty big chunk of enemy. I think I still did an EMP there, just out of sort of force of habit. Corrosion fields, that's annoying, but it's not so bad. Other enemies get stats every time an enemy dies. I think we can handle the corrosion fields, probably. We're definitely seeing, like, it's very easy for me to be panicked by the corrosion fields, for me to give them more credit than they are probably due as a danger, because I am remembering how difficult and frustrating they were when we were trying to do that high risk area without any armor or shield on. But the fact is, with all of our proper defensive capabilities, they're just not going to be that big of a deal. I love this turret so much. Oh, that's a lot of, yeah, that's quite a volley of stuff. There's an armor drone in here somewhere. We just keep firing flak in the general direction of all the signals. We'll kill it eventually. Are you dead? Okay, you are dead. It'd be a little hard to tell. Oh, that's a big rock. Alright, managed to kill him before he got his front shield back around on us. Pretty important stuff. How are you still alive? Alright, the flak cannon will handle it. And the turret will handle everything else. It honestly does feel really good to have like a bunch of enemy signals approaching and just like launch flak into what feel like the critical locations. Just like find the densest points and just blast flak into them and watch the targets disappear one by one as you approach. Alright, so an enemy that just boosts away every once in a while feels like a much less dangerous thing than the enemy who teleports out and initiates self-repair. No shield, huh? Well, that's certainly a way you are allowed to operate. Don't know that I'd recommend it, though. So we still really haven't had a situation like those things are, you know, light mid-sized ships. We really haven't spent enough time finding like a proper capital ship. I think that would have been fun to have that be part of the climactic battle, is actually having to take on that capital ship and like take down the individual systems of it one by one and actually have to fight turrets. Because, like, we get these enemies that have a bunch of turret points on them, and it's like, theoretically, you could disable this thing a couple pieces at a time and make the fight, you know, slowly tilted more and more in your favor. But given the lack of toughness, there's almost never a good reason to do so. It's just like, why would I not just pound the center health bar? Okay, we don't want these. Give me these. We'll look at these. The 0K Boomer. Very high damage. 20 yield. Good range. Rockets are equipped with a proximity center that triggers up to 2 frost explosions along the way, dealing damage to enemies in a 150-meter radius and freezing them. Huh. That's very interesting. 150 meters is... you know, I feel like the only time that's going to happen is when it's on final approach to the enemy. When it gets within 150 meters of the target, it will blow up like that. Okay, so we didn't pull another signal decoder, I don't believe. I am pretty interested in these. So 220 shots of like 2,000 damage. It's really hard for me to want to drop those. I wish I had a good sense of exactly how much benefit this has been giving us. So 20% of the time when we crit, and our crit chance is about 20%, we fire one of these at 60% reduced damage. And it just teleports to the target and blasts them. But it does do bonus damage against higher units. This is also... You know, I didn't even notice that these have... I probably noticed it when I equipped. I forgot that these have bonus damage against higher level units and bonus damage against ancients. That's really powerful, actually. Yeah, so like as interesting as these are, like the use case is different from the way we're using our missiles now, and I guess I would maybe have to redesign things a little bit. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not figure this out right now. I'm going to say that's it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're taking on some high-risk areas. We are finishing the final challenge. And I would like to keep at this. We almost gained an entire level today. I would like to keep at this until we hit level 30. We can play with those top rank perks a little while, and we can experiment with really pushing the lunacy up. So, you know, a couple more episodes at least. Because I'm still having an awful lot of fun. I hope y'all are as well. Come back next time for more of this, and we'll see you then.